Намо Бхагавате Васудевая.
Ом 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 намо Бхагавате Васудевая.
Нараяна намаскритя нарам чайва наротtamam девим сарасватим vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashta praeshu vadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Четем Шримад Бхагаватам, 11 песен, глава 15, което се нарича описанието на мистичните йога съвършенства от Бог Кришна. Тази глава описва 8 главни и 10 второстепенни мистични съвършенства. Те са развивани чрез съсредоточаване на ума в йога, но те са в крайна сметка пречка за постигане на духовната обител на Бог Вишну. Опитан от Удава, Бог Шри Кришна описва характеристиките на 18 мистични съвършенства и специфичен вид медитация, чрез която всяко от тях се постига. В заключение Кришна казва, че за някой, който желае да извършва чисто предано служене към върховната божествена личност, постигането на тези мистични съвършенства е губене на време, тъй като те отклоняват човек от правилното обожание. Всички тези съвършенства автоматично са предлагани на чистия предан, но той не ги приема. Докато не се използват, докато йога не е използвана в предано служене, тези съвършенства са безполезни или нямат стойност. Един предан просто вижда, че върховната божествена личност винаги присъства навсякъде, и навън, и вътре, и външно, и вътрешно, и затова зависи изцяло от Бога. Текст първи. Шри Бхагаван увача джитендриясya юктасya джита свасасya йогина маи дхараяташчета upatishtanti siddhaya. We can chant that actually. Jitendriyasya yuktasya jita shvasasya yogina mayi dharayatascheta upatishtanti siddhaya.
Jitendriyasya yuktasya jita svasasya yogina mayi dharayatascheta upatishtanti siddhaya.
Не. Шри Бхагаван Вача, върховната божествена личност, каза джита индриясия. Означава джита индрия, джита индриясия. Ита индриясия значи сетивата. Джита прана. We have a God brother, Jita Prana, who has conquered the prana. The prana. Jita is from the same root. Jaya, victory. Jita, one who has attained victory. Този, който е победил сетивата. Юкта ся, този, който уравновесил ума. Джита шваса ся, и който е победил или овладял системата на дишане. Йогина, такъв йоги, май в мен, дхараята, съсредоточил, чета своето съзнание. Дхарана, концентрация. Дхараята, концентрирал чета съзнанието. Упатиштанти се появява. Сиддхая, мистичните съвършенства на йога. Сидхи. Превод. Върховната божествена личност каза: мой скъпи Удава, мистичните съвършенства на йога се развиват от йоги, който е овладял своите седива, установил ума си, убедил е процеса на дишане и е съсредоточил ума си върху мен. Пояснение. Има 8 главни мистични съвършенства, като анима, сидхи и 10 второстепенни съвършенства. В тази 15 глава Бог Кришна ще обясни, че такива мистични съвършенства са всъщност пречка към развиването на Кришна съзнание и за това човек не трябва да ги желае. Therefore, we should not desire to become smaller than the smallest. Anima siddhi. Искаш ли да станеш по-малко от най-малко и да можеш да минаш през ключалката? He can go through anywhere if he becomes the smallest. And his eyes become like that. Wow. But he said, no, I want Krishna. Yeah? Either you want to become smaller of the smallest or you want to become friend of Krishna. What? Friend of Krishna. Okay. Prapti Siri. You extend your hand. How can I take the mango? You extend your hand, you extend it to India or to Afghanistan and pick it from the tree, big mango, like this.
It's super sweet.
And fragrant.
Or reach out to the shop with the nicest computer. That's one of the mangoes. I know what I'm going for.
Latest iPhone.
Latest. Okay.
Шри Удава Увача. Кая Dharanaya Касви. Шри Удава каза, кая от какво или чрез какъв. Dharanaya, процес на медитация, Касвит, който е наистина Катхам, по какъв начин, ва или сидхи, мистично съвършенство. Ачута, мой скъпи Господи, кати, колко много, ва или сидхая, съвършенство. Брухи, брухи ме е проблема. Брухи, значи, кажи ми, please explain. Брухи, йогинам, на всички йоги, сидхи, да. Да means давам, което означава давам. Сидхи, да. Даряващия ли, даващият съвършенство, мистично съвършенство. Баван, ти. Превод. Шри Удава каза, мой скъпи Бог Ачута, чрез какъв процес на това мистично съвършенство може да се постигне? И каква е природата на такова съвършенство? Колко много мистични съвършенства има? Моля ти, обясни ми това. Наистина, ти даряваш всички мистични съвършенства. Oh, tell me. You're the giver, please. Tell me how many there are. How can one get them? Шри Бхагаван Вача. Върховната божествена личност каза, сидхая, мистични съвършенства, ашта даша. Даша, 10. Ашта, 8. 8-10. Или 18 в случая ашта даша. Прокта се казва дхарана, медитации. Йога от йога. Парагай от господарите. Тасам на 18. Аштал 8. Мат прадхана. Приели подслон при мен. Даша 10. Ева наистина. Гуна хетава. Са проявени от материалната гуна на доброто. Превод. Върховната божествена личност каза, господарите на йога системата са обяснили, че има 18 вида мистични съвършенства и медитация, от които 8 са главни. И приели подслон при мен, от които 8 са главни, приели подслон при мен. И 10 са второстепени, които се появяват от гуната на доброто. Пояснение. Шива Вишванатха Чакраварти Такур обяснява, че думата Матпрадхана, думите Матпрадхана така. Бог Кришна е естествено подслонът на 8-те главни мистични съвършенства и медитации, тъй като такива съвършенства произлизат от личната енергия на Бога и затова те са изцяло развити само в самия Бог и в личните придружители на Бога. Когато материалистите механично придобиват такива енергии, получените съвършенства са в една степен по-нисши и са считани за проявление на илюзията Майя. Един чист предан на Бога автоматично получава от Бога необикновени енергии, за да извършва своето правилно служене. Ако за сетивно наслаждение човек механично полага усилия да придобие мистични съвършенства, тогава тези съвършенства са несъмнено смятани за по-нисши разширения на външната енергия на Бога. Any comment?
That's what I say. Our lovely phones. They're what they're allowing us to do is nothing new. It's not anything. It's just now we're just doing by mechanical, gross means, things that people could do completely naturally, without devices, but without gross instruments. But previously you had to have qualifications, but these you don't. You just have to put your money down, and then you can communicate to anybody, get information you want. They're definitely
remember things.
Yeah, they're definitely a gross form of, in again, and not to the same degree, but to some degree we're obsessed with thinking these things are so powerful now that I have a powerful way to communicate, to get information, to control things, to know things. But it's considered to be an inferior thing because it's used for sense gratification. Same illusion. It's nothing that's quite as exciting as these, but that's why, and that's we can see. We can think, oh well, we're not really interested in these things, but yeah. If you're, it's like walk to the bank, I renounce all this money. No, it's not yours. So yeah, I'm no interest in these cities, but controlling people's minds. Oh my God, the things I could do for Krishna. Things I could do for Krishna. But oh no, all the states are actually put in front of me, and you can see that how much they're very attractive.
Yeah, that's why people go for them, either mystically or mechanically.
So does it mean that these yogi they do not have Paramatma realization?
Why?
Because if they have a Paramatma realization, it's higher than Brahman realization, there is no material qualities. So it's said that mystic powers come from the material world of goodness. Does it mean that they don't have Paramatma realization?
Well, Krishna says it was in the previous verse, in the first verse of the chapter, right? He explained what are the qualifications: steady the mind, control the senses. What else?
And focus on the Lord in the heart.
Focus on the Lord.
So it has to be.
If that's the realization, yeah, that's it. They must have it. Let's see again. 3 things, he says. Jitendriya, Yuktasya. Yukta means one who has accomplished yoga. It comes from yoga. Connecting, and Yukta means one who is connected. So your mind must be connected, must be controlled. Jita Shvasya, the prana must be controlled, the indriyas, the senses must be controlled, and Mai Dharanyatascheta. Dharana means to keep. So your mind, your consciousness must be kept in Krishna. That's the realization. If you have this, then you get Upatishtanti. They appear actually, Krishna says, Upatishtanti. They appear, the mystic perfections. So it's not easy actually to have this control of the senses, of the mind, of the prana, and keeping the mind in the Lord. 4. So that's a realization.
So depends how you use it. If you
Yeah,
use it for yourself,
why you want it, how you use it. Yeah. Шри Бхагаван обаче. Do you read that? Yeah. Прочетахме го. So, text 4.
Actually list.
4 и 5. Слушайте внимателно. Now listen carefully about the 8 perfections. Anima.
We don't want.
We don't. Анима, съвършенство да станеш по-малък от най-малкото. Махима, да станеш по-велик от най-великото.
That's more interesting.
That's more interesting. Мурте, на тялото. Лагима, да станеш по-лек от най-лекото.
I can walk in the water and fly where I like. That's very attractive.
Yeah. Prab, you can walk on the sea.
No boat, just walk.
Прапти, acquisition, това означава да придобиваш неща, както казахме, ако искаш
Ако
манго.
си малък, може да вървиш по морето.
Може и да си голям. Индрияи от сетивата.
Как ще вървиш по морето отгоре?
С това съвършенство. Да си лагима, по-лек от най-лекото. Пракамям. Прабхупад often quotes this. Пракамям. Да постигаш или да извършваш всичко, което искаш. Всичко, което искаш, можеш да го получиш или да го направиш. Kamyan means desire, and prakamyan means you can get anything, any desire.
Може да си
Anything.
вземаш манго, да си потръгнеш. Каката може да се фанеш на дървото и да
Може да пипнеш луната, ако искаш.
You could fill all these hills with mango
И
forests.
слънцето.
Yes.
Можеш всяко шоколад.
So nice.
Oh. Окей. Шрута.
Може да ядеш целия хотел.
Може.
Всичко може да ядеш.
Шрута. Неща. Невидими неща. Такива, за които човек само чува.
Можеш също да не спиш и слънцето да сте през цялото време.
Okay, so this actually is connected with prakamyan. Да получиш и да извършиш всичко, което желаеш, шрута за неща, които са невидими или за които само си чувал. Something we heard of, but like the latest iPhone. We heard that it's coming, but we haven't seen yet. Then prakamyan, you get it with all the cameras which shoot like Hollywood type quality HD movie. 4, 5, 6 cameras. It's all cameras.
Има ли такива?
Има.
Къде са?
Някъде са, не сме ги виждали. We only heard about that, or we haven't seen. It's invisible. Дриштешо и неща видими. Шакти преранам.
Като отидеш в духовния свет, можеш да го правиш.
Можеш. Манипулираш енергиите на Майя. Ишита. Съвършенството да контролираш. Yes. Ишита.
Можеш да дигнеш
Every
цялата
president's
земя.
dream.
И е темпъл президент. Сънят на
Може
на
цялата
темпъл
земя да
президент.
дигнеш.
The perfection of controlling. Then everything becomes easy. Management is easy. Ишита. Прокришна. Гунешов, гуните на природата. Асанга, невъзпрепятстван, вашита, силата да подчиниш другите. Okay, so it's all about control. Вашита, силата да подчиниш другите. Яд, който и да е, или каквото и да е, кама, желание, каквото може и да е. Тат, това, авасия ти, човек може да постигне. Тези, мои енергии. Сидхая, мистични съвършенства. Саумя, добри удава. Аштал, Saumi also means very beautiful. Saumi Rupa. Kind, добър, красив, нежен. Аштал 8. Аутпаттика, естествени и и превъзходни. Мата се разбират и се приема, че са. So it's all about desire. fulfilling your desire, controlling others, fulfilling anything which you want or you heard about. It's all
И
about,
няма как да се удари.
няма как.
Дори
all
ако
about you.
паднеш, няма да се заболи.
Няма. Превод. Сред 8-те основни мистични съвършенства, 3, чрез които човек се трансформира своето тяло, са анима, да стане по-малко от най-малкото, махима, да станеш по-голям от най-голямото, и лакима, да станеш по-лек от най-лекото. Запомнихме ли? 3 съвършенства от 8-те главни са свързани с промяна на тялото. 3, you change your body, which means you can take any form, basically. Чрез съвършенството на прапти човек получава или придобива каквото пожелае, а чрез пракамия сидхи може да изпита или да вкуси, да опита всеки обект на наслаждение. И в този свят или в другия. Вау!
И когато щагнеш с пръсти, можеш също да тялото няма да се... Няма да...
He became really excited about it. Prospects.
Кажи му това да е. Застанеш с пръсти и всичко ще
Всичко
махне.
иде.
Не всичко няма.
Just and then everything disappears.
Appear, disappear.
Okay, so или в този свят, или в следващия. Чрез ишита сидхи, човек може да манипулира подчинените енергии на Майя, а чрез контролиращата сила, наречена вашита сидхи, човек не е възпрепятстван от 3 гуни на природата. I like this one.
You don't get this one, I don't. So what's the value?
You are not unimpeded by the 3 modes.
You're transcendental. It's not transcendental. It means something else.
I don't know. I don't want to be impeded by the modes, you know. Maybe not yet transcendental, but I don't want the modes on my way.
It's not really controlling the two modes.
But forward, Vashita was the power of bringing others under control. Различен начин. Да подчиниш другите, а тук е да не си подчиня на гуните. Този, който е придобил кама васаита сидхи, може да получи всичко, от всякъде, откъдето иде. И до най-висшият възможен лимит, или най-висшата степен. Мои скъпи удава, тези 8 мистични съвършенства са смятани за естествено съществуващи и превъзходни в този свят. What does it mean, naturally existing?
It's just part of the material universe to be ability to do things. Even now, if you build big skyscrapers, it's amazing. It's done by machines and diggers. No, it's just to achieve ability to do anything. It's
It's natural. It's natural.
It's natural to do. They did it much more sacredly and God consciously.
Does it mean that you gain karma or do you free of karma?
Definitely gain karma. No, it's definitely
Because you can control
The modes?
the modes.
definitely
No, you're not controlling the modes. You're not impeded.
by the modes.
You're not impeded by the modes.
So he basically,
So you're not impeded. You're not like Tamaguna comes and then you just go to sleep. You can control. You can you're not affected. But what you do, depending on why you do it, if you do it for yourself, that you get karma. If you do it for Krishna, no karma.
but repeated, but practical sense, the way I take it, that you can get whatever you want.
Yeah,
The modes get you.
yeah.
There's like that's why it's the last one. Come on, basically. You can reach out and you can create a planet. Probably. So at one point you can create a planet. So whatever, there's also an obstacle by the modes, but they're no longer an obstacle. I don't know if it's I mean you're fully in control, because that's Krishna's job, Durga's, but they don't get in your way.
Yeah.
Prabhupada said from Krishna. Full.
But it's interesting. There is a whole chapter of that in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So obviously people get excited about these things. So this is a way that you incite them.
Yeah.
You come and you become almost God. So yes, you start practicing. I get rid of karma. I gain all this. And Patanjali also warns at the end all these distractions. But here, what's the difference? The same, absolutely the same mystics. But there is one difference.
Krishna is
What
Yeah.
difference between
Yeah. That's Krishna is here personally. He says, me, eta, me. These are my mystic potency. There, it's just there. But it's not person. It's you're not aware that because Krishna is talking to you, Uddhava, he says. He has not yet.
It's not light. The light is there.
No, yeah, he was dreaming. I'm flying. Окей, пояснение. Първо. Чрез анима сиди човек може да стане по-малък и да толкова малък, че да влезе в камъка или да премине през всякакво препятствие. Чрез махима сиди може да стане по-голям, така че да покрие всичко. А чрез лагима да стане толкова лек, че може да язди слънчевите лъчи чак до слънчевата планета или да се придвижи по тях. Чрез прапти сиди човек може да придобие всичко от всякъде и може дори да докосне луната с пръста си. С пръст. Чрез тази и слънцето може се опариш. Чрез мистичното съвършенство, това мистично съвършенство, човек може да... Не можеш.
Защото като се доближиш и ти веднага...
Ще изгориш. He says, hey, touching the moon, can you touch the sun? Well, you will burn.
So even closer. Yeah.
Окей, значи, чрез това мистично съвършенство, човек може да влезе в сетивата на всяко друго живо същество, чрез доминиращите божества на определеното сетиво.
See, that's what the boss does in a company, right?
Да.
That's what somebody does in the head of a company.
The boss, yeah.
The boss. Through everyone else's senses and sense activities, that person enjoys. So again, gross, it's there. These things are still there. Nothing's gone. It's just much more gross.
Yeah, but that's the mechanics. If you want to enter someone and use his senses or her senses, then you do it through the control and deity. For us, we read already a couple of verses ago that the devata indriya, the predominating devatas of senses. So each sense has a deity which we actually can use the senses because of the power of these empowered demigods by Krishna. So you can enter other senses. Oh, let me check what's going on. There is a story about Shankaracharya, who was a great debater, and he would conquer any scholar. He was so good. But one of them challenged him, which he thought, now he can't really beat me with this one, because everybody knew Shankara. He actually left, like I think 33 years old. So he was young. But so he was a Naishtaki brahmachari, never married. So they were debating, and debate means any shastra you can bring. And this person thought, I'll bring Kama Shastra. So said, let's debate Kama Shastra. Of course, Shankaracharya knows all about Kama Shastra. He knows all the Shastras. And he's explaining, but this person says, but you don't have experience. So can you speak from experience? If you cannot really talk about these things. So Shankara understands, okay, this is a good point. This is a good challenge. He says, okay, wait a minute. So he goes into meditation, enters the senses of a king, enjoys, comes back and says, here is how it is. know. So this is the mystic power. You can enter the sense through the devata. Чрез пракамия човек може да изпита или да вкуси всеки обект за наслаждение. Или в този свят, или в другия. И чрез ишита, или управляващата енергия, или енергията на контрола, човек може да манипулира подчинените енергии на Майя, които са материални. С други думи, дори като придобие мистични сили, човек не може да премине отвъд контрола на илюзията. Обаче, човек може да манипулира под енергиите на илюзията. Okay. Не може да контролираш самата илюзия. You can't control the illusion itself, just the subpotencies. Чрез вашита, силата на контрол, човек може да подчини другите под своята власт или да държи себе си отвъд контрола на трите гони на природата. В крайна сметка, човек придобива чрез камавасаита максимум силата на контрола, възможността за придобиване и наслада. Okay? It's all material. It's all what material is also what? The power of control, acquisition, and enjoyment. So that's why I need billions I can make acquisition of any other big company. I can just swallow them for enjoyment and I will control them. Same thing. Power, acquisition, enjoyment. Думата аутпатика в този текст показва, че тъй като са изначални, естествени или означава изначален, естествени, не надминат. Аутпатика. Те са естествени, изначални и ненадминати. Тези 8 мистични сили изначално съществуват във върховната божествена личност Кришна в превъзходна степен. Бог Кришна става толкова малък, че той влиза в атомите, или атомните частици. Той става толкова голям, че като Махавишну издиша милиони вселени. Като Бог той може да стане толкова лек и фин, че дори великите мистични йоги не могат да го възприемат. И силата на придобиване на Бога е толкова съвършена, че той може да поддържа цялото съществуване вечно в своето тяло. Богът със сигурност може да се наслаждава на всичко, каквото той си поиска. And he does it. He can enjoy, and he enjoys. He is so expert, Krishna. He turns everything into enjoyment for his pleasure. Even when demons attack, it's also fun. Because he's always happy, blissful. So, той може да се наслаждава на всичко, което пожелая, да контролира всички енергии, да доминира на всички личности и да проявява пълно всемогъщество. Или съвършено всемогъщество. Затова трябва да разбираме, че тези 8 мистични съвършенства са незначителни разширения на мистичното съвършенство на Бога. Или мистичното могъщество на Бога, който в Бхагавад Гита е наречен Йогешвара. Върховният Бог на всички мистични енергии. Тези 8 съвършенства не са изкуствени, но са естествени и това беше думата. Не се казах. We forgot. Unexcelled. Както е. Са превъзходни, естествени и ненадминати. Ненадминати. Не са изкуствени, те са естествени и ненадминати, тъй като те изначално съществуват в личността на Бога. Okay? Now we know. Who has them and who gives them. Now we know that. Of course. Of course. That's the point. That's the point.
You can imagine now who is the control of the world here, so we can control
It's not necessary, like somebody who material, I mean, this is also material, but gross material control, acquisition, and enjoyment, they may have it. They may not get karma if they are nice karma yogis, if they offer that to Krishna. So it's having this is not the problem itself. For what to use that? So these are the subtle forms, much more powerful, of course. They want to, they for example, the weapons, gross material weapons has very great limitations, but subtle, when you can manipulate the energy through subtle means, then much more powerful. So through this enjoyment, acquisition, and control is much more powerful through this, because you actually touch the original power of Krishna. And he gives, if you really want and deserve, he can give, he can share. He's not miser. Oh, you want that? No problem. Here it is. Here is the toy. Play around. But then you can create a big karma. Or you can use it for Krishna.
Brahma also.
Of course.
Well, this is what the material universe is about. That's Prabhupada, it's amazing how many times he mentions that. Anima, lagima, prabdina,
Oh yeah, many times.
many
Yeah.
times he mentions it.
Yeah.
So it's this is what the material universe is about. These 8 mystic cities, this is real sense gratification.
Yes.
This is proper sense gratification.
Yes. This is the real thing.
We have to have these.
Yeah.
And there is nothing else. There is nothing else. It's just a matter of what level you have them on. Like we think about Mr. Bezos, Mr. Amazon. He owns
Jeff Bezos.
$35 billion.
What? Much more.
No,
Much more.
personal.
Personal.
Personal, yeah, personal. Something.
Okay.
He owns
Personal is the one.
a lot. So like our mind, so there's nothing he can't do. He can't buy anything, go anywhere, possess, own. But that's not because he started this little mail service with books 25 years ago. It's not because of that. That's not because. And I always like that, the fact that the ability to own so much money, to have the capacity to have a little degree of the city, he can get whatever he wants. He's got property city, but it's come from this process too. It's come from controlling the senses, controlling the mind, and fixed attention on the Lord. It doesn't come from anything else. So back to Vidya marriage.
You mean that Jeff Bezos is self-control?
At some point, yes.
Mhm.
You don't get that much money from a silly idea of distributing things around the world that are so stupid. People buy. You don't get.
No,
You don't
books
get
are
that.
intelligent.
He
was distributing books. They're intelligent. They're not stupid. So
Even still, no.
yeah,
It's,
yeah, but it's
we
so many others are doing it.
yeah. So we shouldn't superficially connect the fact that he got this clever idea, or Mr. Facebook, the idea of this little software and this little calculation,
Social communication.
and then suddenly he's whatever 35, whatever he owns. It's not because of that. They're not in possession of the capacity to have perverted small amount of one of these cities because of those external. They did it because they control the senses, control the mind, and they meditate on the Lord to some degree. Obviously not in this life, because we don't know, especially I do them are very pious people, but they had to be in a previous life. They had to have done these things. And only by these things does this ability come. It doesn't come from such banal, stupid activities. That's not how you get even a fraction of these cities. It only comes from this. That's why this is it. This is the natural process. You do these things, you get this result. Whatever degree you do it, you get some degree of that result. These wealth and power does not come from factory or an idea or a computer or what's the equations? Not the equation. What's the word? The form. Anyway, whatever it is, they go on Facebook and Google it. They're a little magic. That's not. It comes to these things. So I like that connection. Like everything is so you should really make the connection real as devotees. Like wealth does not come from stupid reasons. Wealth is Lakshmi, wealth is power. It comes from these things to the degree. Now, it doesn't matter then, as we said, it depends what you do with it. Yeah, they use this. Yeah, that's why you pious Indians. We have this wonderful Mr. Anil Agarwal that comes to Soul Street every morning. He's number one in the richest man, and he comes and he does this chanting thing, and he's an exception. You can see him getting better. He can lead a kirtan now quite nicely, but he came just because he knew he had to offer thanks. Now, if you ask me a philosophical question, I'm not sure what sort of answer you might get, but he just knew this man he needs to come and thank you. So he's pious.
Yeah.
They don't, unfortunately. They also got this power, of money acquisition, but they've lost the connection. That's what pious Indian, very wealthy men, they know the connection is still there, because you don't get this without coming from the Lord, because the system, the Lord or the Lord's system is pleased with you. So I really like that. We shouldn't glorify the way they got the money, because it's not that way. It's only this way. Only this way. And this was the only way you acquire wealth. You can have all the brilliant ideas in the world, but unless you've done pious accredits by controlling your sense, controlling your mind, and to some degree meditating upon the Lord, then you become Mr. Bezos or Zuckerberg.
They were just lucky and smart.
That's why natural. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around the system. You don't get wealth, you don't get power, you don't get fame or beauty.
It's not necessary directly to God. You can worship some demigods also.
Well, yeah, but it has to be. Obviously, with maybe so, and the demigod, obviously.
But they from Krishna. Yeah. So,
but you have to. Yeah, it has to be some acceptance of a higher authority.
But also,
it comes down, and it's the previous life, the previous life, some of the previous lives. These are. That's why I think specifically like America. Who said it? Someone has seen. It's fallen Brahmins. That's why it's so much money there, because they perform the previous life yogis. Now the money contact those people, not part, who are fallen, but they have so much wealth because specifically yogis. That's just yoga. It's the yoga and wealth. Only way you get wealth, not from formula or a clever idea. or education. That's what Jaga said. Education also does not bring, unless you've done yagya. Yagya brings the chance to get wealth, to get a position. Yagya, not mundane anything. That's the system. That's the Christian system, and there's no exceptions, no changes, no matter how demonic they are. Even our demons in our Shastra. They did.
They know. They know because
they knew. There's only one way to get power. You have to please higher authority. Shiva, it's natural. Ultimately, there's nothing unnatural. It's due to ignorance. It's been now, which will cause then the karma, big karma and bad karma.
Bhaktivedanta Purnamar speaks about it often. He says, unlike some who we see, like quick millionaires or something. This again, obviously from something, but without knowledge, you did something biased in previous. Now you get it quickly and then you lose it if you don't understand the principle. But those who understand, they might not be directly, completely aware, but they know the principles of yoga in some way. They know of sacrifice, they know of giving to receive. And he says that's why we see the wealthy families for generations. They keep their wealth. It just kept and increased always for many generations. And when you see the history, you see that you see how they give and how they they have this pious understanding. In some way or other, they are religious and they respect and whatever their motivations, they might not be so devotional or something, but they know the principles. They know there is a higher principle, and that's how you keep the wealth.
Especially pious Indians. They know that. Motivation, sure, it's definitely up. If they want to keep it coming, gotta give it out.
They go and make a deal with Balaji. He's like the biggest investor in India. They say, Balaji, please, I'm starting a company. You get 10%. Anything I want, you are my partner now, please. You get 10%. If I become billionaire, you'll also be rich. And you have to pay back your debt. That's the story. The marriage of Narayan, I forgot, there was some detail, and he took some loan from Kuvera or somewhere, so he's paying back. So that's the idea. You help him pay back, and then he arranges also that you get you double it or triple it, whatever. So I'm helping you, Balaji, but you also help the business grows.
10%.
Yeah, I don't know what percent, but that's what they say officially. They actually say you become a partner. Balaji is the richest deity in the world. So much gold. And I don't know the income of it was fabulous income.
Oh,
Just really.
And way ahead of anything else. Nothing else was close on. So.
And anyway, anything else? So you can dream about mystic perfections. No, no, you don't. You don't boring.
Yes.
Wow. It's not boring. It's exciting. It's
I
exciting.
enjoy it at first time, but then it will be boring.
To be able to know what's in everybody's mind, actually, what he's thinking,
Yes.
and be able to.
It's the same, man. same stuff. So stupid stuff.
So we should start chanting 192 rounds per day.
Yeah,
If
that's
it's
the
boring.
thing, No, I'm not affected by the modes.
No problem.
I may sleep half an hour.
You can shake now.
Full concentration.
Go
full
here and
concentration.
start chanting all day.
Full concentration. I don't yield to the mind. No, the mind goes, what? No. Sit down. Yes, okay. You control. So that's good. But
Докато не се окажат препятствия.
he says until some obstacles come. Yeah.
No, Animal Farm comes to mind. Everybody wasn't motivated until they got into position, and then the pigs took over, or the people in power. Once you get power, you say it's only for Krishna, but once you get it, the taste comes out.
Yeah, we can experience every day with us. With the prasadam and everything.
Control.
Yeah.
Power corrupts.
So it's the same.
Absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
Mystic power is corrupt, yeah. Of course, and that's why obviously I mean, all these. why do they love it? Why does again we love watching people fly? Why? Because it's like, only if we could do that. It's again the perverted reflections of these mystic cities, all the abilities. That's why people want it.
But the superheroes are not happy.
No, no, even that's fine, and no one's happy with all
Beat the demons.
Fight evil for Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.